I've already really asked this, but was there any real reticence to go to the WWF? Because I mean, what was he like, 5'8"? And I
He's
think
a little bit
this,
taller. Yeah, like 5'9"
yeah,
ish. But he was like,
yeah,
built like a brick shit house.
yeah. Was well, I was sort of thinking, was there any reticence? Because I know they turned down Chris Benoit that same year for probably the same reason, and they were sort of a similar build, similar height, and everything. So, I mean, was he ever worried that he wasn't going to get a fair shake?
Um, I don't think so. I think with him, he was so freaking dedicated, had such tunnel vision. He kind of knew if you were a pro wrestler in any capacity anywhere, he knew you. Like he was all over the place. So it was just the next step. Like I don't think he ever had a second thought about it. And I know from like I heard like Bruce Pritchard, like so some of these like I don't really follow a lot of wrestling things now. Just my brother's gone, I don't do it anymore. It kind of makes me miss him and shit. But people will send me links and stuff, and it was Bruce Pritchard, talking about my brother about going in there, just how technically sound he was, and they wanted to keep him there like for a while to train guys, and just about how he was he was so advanced at such a young age because he had been doing it for so long that it was like I don't know if I've been that passionate about anything in my life the way he felt about wrestling. So yeah, I don't think he gave it a second thought. He knew that's where he was going, and that's where he went, and he was gonna. After it's almost like the WWE is the belly of the beast. When you're in the belly of the beast, you're making 20 grand a week, and then they spit you out, and then you're trying to crawl back into the belly of the beast because then when you're there, you get 20 grand a week. So so I figured he was going to figure his way back into WWE, and it's just so crazy to think he passed at 33 because my little sisters, who I still look at as little sisters, are older than he was when he passed. So it's kind of crazy, but so yeah, he didn't. He loved this time at WWE. He did, and he figured he'd be back there, at some point or another in his career.
Yeah, well, he sort of actually was. He was there for like one night, wasn't he, when he faced Brian Christopher? But I'll go back on. I'll go back from that. So I think you mentioned it before, but the skip gimmick he wasn't feeling.
No, he wasn't. I mean, and well, Dr. Tom really wasn't because he liked to have the long hair in front of his head. I think Chris, he was happy to be there, and again, kind of saw it as like paying his dues, because if it was 1996, he was born in 82, so he got there in 95, so he was like 23, 24. So I think he wasn't as annoyed with it as Tom Pritchard was, because I think he was like, I made it to the show. This is validation. I can now tell my parents that I'm making money doing what I love. So, but then I remember years later, they did an ECW show, which was like all the guys had to wear their old gimmicks, and he came out and did Skip again in ECW, but he didn't like it. He thought it was kind of corny. But again, that was like the time of corny gimmicks. There was like Duke the Dumpster, who was like garbage man. There was the race car driver. There was like they just did a bunch of shit back then like that. So he might have not been his favorite, but he made the most of it.
I know Chris must have met Vince McMahon quite a few times. Did you ever meet Vince McMahon?
Oh yeah, I met his, yeah, I met him. I don't know, like 10 times. He always remembered my name. He'd always say, "Johnny, fantastic." So, yeah, he was cool.
Did Chris sort of? I don't know. Did he get a bit discouraged when he realised that he was going to be losing to Barry Horowitz straight away?
Not really. It was really hard to discourage him. I think he thought of it as, I'm young, I'm here, I'm playing the game. I think it was later on that he got like a little bit more like annoyed with things, like why am I not moving along faster? Like, let's get this show on the road, kind of thing. After the Bodydonna's phased out, but the Barry Horowitz thing, it didn't really bother him. He never cared about doing jobs to anyone, or it never really peeved him that much. He was cool with it. So, and it was funny just to see like that's when like I remember he thought it was funny. Like he would go to the mall to go shopping, and there'd be like grown men like patting themselves on the back and running away and shit. So he was just laughing about it. He wasn't, like I said, he was the kind of guy that rather laugh something off than get annoyed at it.